Yeah, guys, so it's time again. You guessed it. It's Verdi's lecture episode 7. Wow, so we're really going into this, and so far the feedback on YouTube has been amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support, etc. You're just giving me. It's incredible. You can't believe it. Our topic today is, as you can see up here, it's professional players and why you can't just call yourself a pro. What does it mean actually to be a professional player? First of all, you represent an org, you represent yourself as a brand, you represent sponsors, you have to fulfill your duties as a job. Because you're contracted, you have to fulfill certain contract points, like you have to represent the organization, represent sponsors on certain events, you have to be on events, you have to fly around, travel around, it's not just gaming, and everything for your own sake. So what I want to talk about right now is we start out with the behavior. For example, what is wrong? Being a simple, like the guy Simple, the player from Navi. He had so much drama, and literally after being called out and being yelled at, he started again. And you just don't want to do that because, first of all, that does not sell that good. I mean, he's a tremendous player, but yeah, still, it's just not good in a kind of way, because everywhere you go, you're just being flamed at a certain point of time. I mean, he's an awesome player, he does good kills, but still, it's just not good. So what you don't want to do is, for example, mock other players on stream. We saw that, what happened with Cloud9 and Freakazoid, for example. Personal insulting, the same. Start drama anywhere, on Reddit or whatever. Or even physically attacking people. Actually, this happened on the ESWC. In a female Counter-Strike competition, there were some incidents, and literally you just don't want to do that. And I think for those girls, in my opinion, esport career should be over, because this is a complete no-go. What is right? Have good contract negotiation skills. Always kind of sell yourself, because being exclusive for one org is expensive. But never ever be too much arrogant and they're like, hey, we're here in, for example, Rainbow Six, and you could get $150 a month. Don't be like, hey, I want to be full time of 2,000 at least. And they will be like, okay, no, can do, no, will do, bye bye. So yeah, have good skills, read the people right, try to probe before. Organization representation. This is like what you want to do. You want to do that. This is your living in a kind of way. This is what you always have to think about. Build your own reputation. Be a nice guy. Have your own style, etc. Build your own brand. At a certain point of time, I did my own. I mean, the beard, probably everyone recognized me just because of that. If I would cut it off, no one would recognize me. But you know, it's like, I love the beard, by the way. I really love it. It's just not every time when I'm sitting in front of a TV watching a movie with my girlfriend, I'm sitting here like this, and she's like, could you actually stop stroking your beard and maybe like cuddle me? I'm like, oh, sorry. So yeah, I really love that beard. So back to the topic. The thing is, build your own brand, find your logo, find your style, find yourself. For example, Noted is doing a very good job. Pengu with a penguin is doing a great job. We have so many others who are building their own reputation. King George is doing amazing. Troy, aka Canadian, is doing a very good job on this. Cameraman from Dex Santos also. So there's a lot of things you can learn and you have to do before you can call yourself being a pro. Manage your social media. You have to work with social media. You can't be like, I don't want to go social media. No, this is your marketing point. This is exactly what you want to do. This is the right thing to do. You have to have a social media. I mean, at least have a Twitter, maybe a Facebook. Well, at least have a Twitter and Facebook. Maybe have an Instagram and whatever there is. But at least have Twitter and Facebook, just to have people to find you, to be fans of you. I mean, give them a platform where they can actually cheer for you, okay? So this has to be done. Building a brand for yourself is very necessary. First of all, it saves you and your future in a kind of way. For example, you as a person will be a brand at a certain point of time where people will recognize you even without being in an organization, or when you swap into a organization. You bring a lot of potential with you, and also you make yourself exclusive again. It makes you more valuable for any organization. The more reach you have, the more social media contacts you have, etc., etc. There's a lot you have to take into consideration. And yeah, well, actually, being that much more valuable, it gives you a very good negotiation point on any contract negotiations there are. So, and also, building your brand, etc., like doing YouTube videos also explores other options. For example, if it doesn't work for you being a pro, like you don't feel like yourself like that, maybe YouTube videos, streaming, etc. will get you also hyped up, and you already have the steps on being a pro player, and then being a very good streamer, then being an awesome YouTuber, and in the end, you have a fulfilled life because you found your job, you found your reasoning. So it's all about your dream job, and you have to fight for it. It's not like, oh, I'm pro now, I can do whatever I want, I'm a diva. No! You have to work for it, and you have to appreciate the chance of life that you got the chance to be what you dreamed about, you know? So this is like something you have to write down. This is your chance, don't screw it up. But many people tend to, but yeah, whatever. So going to Pro League, only because you are in a Pro League, that does not necessarily mean that you're a pro player. There's many players in the Pro League that are not pro, that are working controversial, that are working against their own reputation, that were working against their own organizations. They're doing just nothing. They just think because they're in the pro league, they're awesome. So that just does not work. So you could be a very, very, very good player, a very talented player, but you are no pro. The thing is, it starts out for being that you're not mature enough in a kind of way, that you don't grow up, that you just don't have the mindset at the point of time to be a pro, because there's so much to it. You have to practice with your team, you have to be involved with your team, you have to listen to the coach, you have to listen to the management. There's so much, because you're young, you're eager to do, you're full of fire, you want to do this, but you're not listening to anything, you just want to do what you want to do. But no, you have a contract, you have to withhold your own contract terms in order for the organization to withhold theirs, and you just not withhold, but to uphold theirs. And you know, it's just really, you have to work on it. And causing drama in a pro league, it just does not give you, it just does not work, because you want it when you're in pro league. You want to show off. You want to prove yourself that you're worth of a very good contract, of a longer term contract, of a better organization than you're already in. I mean, loyalty is good at a certain point of time, but if a bigger org comes, no org would say, no, you stay. But for example, if you're in Swedish gaming club, whatever, Stockholm, and NIP comes to you, Swedish Gaming Club Stockholm will never ever say, no, you're staying with us. I think most will say, okay, we can't compete with NIP. And fun fact, actually the org also benefits, because of NIP, they were known now, because they have a player that NIP wants. For example, this is just an example, so you have to see it like this. So you want to build up your own I missed the word. But you want to build up your own reputation, and you want to be an interesting person. I mean, you can be direct in feedback, but also when you go into feedback, listen to this. Don't go all, oh, the game is shit. So, why? Because of all the bugs. What bug? There is a lot, yes, but there's also features, but what bug? Because of the frost bug. Okay. When does this happen? Always when I go into a frost trap. Yeah, well, you're not supposed to go into those. See, it's just you're not argumenting right. So when you go, it's right now it's pretty hard to play the game. First of all, this sounds pretty more fair, does it? Because of the game, actually, you are becoming a pro. Well, always when I jump into window and shoot the frost trap, it actually still catches me. Why is that? That helps, actually. Because you told them what happens and that you are actually not comfortable with it. But it's not like, oh, this shit. No, that just does not help. Listen to this. So you have to also learn how to talk and how to actually have a very good conversation with your managers and whatever. It's not about the game being buggy or any game being buggy. I mean, look at Counter-Strike. There's so much things, and they're adding a new map. What? Really? It's so many. There's so many things. But yeah, well, whatever. Let them do their job. They will still do their job, but you also have to do your job. This is your obligation to fulfill your job, because it's not like a hobby and you're a fun dudler or whatever, that you're a fun player. No, this is your job. This is your future. This is you creating your own future and for your own sake and make a living out of it. And having that chance, I think there's a lot of people out there who desire to have that chance, but never ever have been able to do so. So really think about that. So appreciate every moment and every breath you have in this kind of situation. Going over to organizations, for example, yeah, always respect the org you're in, because they try to do as much possible for you as you should do for them. Sometimes it can happen that an org, for example, not withholding their part of the contract. For that, you have your wording skills. You can go, hey, out of paragraph 5, section 1.3, you are supposed to give me post-its every 14 days, because I'm writing so many post-its and you're obligated to, and you did not send them to me for 2 months. What is wrong there? So this is what you can do, but you have to go to them and give them the solution and tell them, hey, please send them to me within 1 week, please. And be nice. After that, you can really go into a harsh way, because you also can cancel the contract. But always consider to have at least one fair warning. But this is like something you should think about, but never ever, the org is shit, I leave. No, that does not work, because that also gives you a bad reputation, because after that, you start gossip, and you don't want to gossip around. It's just, again, it's causing drama, and why? What does it bring to you? They all just recognize you because you build up drama, instead of you being an awesome glass player, because you being an awesome Montagna player, because you being an awesome Termite player. They don't recognize that. No, they just recognize you for causing drama. That's it. That is what no one wants you to be, and you don't want to be. So always remember, don't go all YOLO on Reddit or whatever against an organization or against other players or whatever. There's always a thing where you can solve issues with your team or with your organization. Always remember that. And that gives you being a pro, because you want to solve an issue. Even canceling a contract on negotiated terms is a solution. It does not mean like, go screw them. No, it's like sometimes, you split up with your girlfriend and, you're still friends, but it just did not work out that way. Sometimes it's the same with an org. You can't, sometimes also it happens, I don't want to take anyone into the golden case. Sometimes happens that you split up because you're just, in a conflict and it ends up in court. That happens too. But those are the rare parts, and this is a brutal one, but it rarely happens. There's still lawyers in between which you can actually contact. So yeah, there's always something you can do on a fair term, And when you, for example, always stay fair, you give them no target to attack you to. When you withhold your contract parts because you're obligated to, that's your job, and you always stayed fair, they can't attack you. They have to uphold your terms in this negotiation. If you start flaming, they got you, because you started flame. Never ever start anything. Just be fair all the time. It just does not help being otherwise. So the thing is, sorry. Also, like, you have to think what I said before. Be reasonable with an organization. Never ever, you have to think twice before signing contract. Read the contract through. Be cautious about what it's written in there. Every wording, every colon has a reason in a contract. Remember that. Take your time. No organization, no good organization actually, will pressure you into signing a contract. Always have a double read, and if you sign it, don't whine. It's your fault. You can always negotiate other terms. you can do, always. Sometimes you can't write out, for example, a passphrase like, for example, there is a contract and it says you're not supposed to gamble on your own matches. If that comes out and you're being banned from anything, we are taking the organization out and you're fined, whatever. You can't say I want this paragraph out. No, that doesn't work. Okay, obviously. So yeah, but you can still negotiate onto other terms. There's another thing. Always respect. When they approach you, it's already good. The game right now, Rainbow Six Siege is a very young game. Don't think because you're the awesomest player that you are allowed to negotiate for like full-time amounts or for crazy amounts of money, for a gaming house, for full gear, for full live support, whatever. No. Think twice before doing that. The thing is that just hear them out and then try to negotiate around, because there's not like those offers like in Counter-Strike or in other games where they are like, hey, we offer you 2.5k a month starting money for the next half year. If everything works out, we go up to 3.5. You're coming to the gaming house, whatever. This is not the game right now. Rainbow Six Siege is still young, and the money they invest is little because the return of investment also is a very high set. So it's really hard to get the money back, because right now, it's all up to the players, up to the organizations and the community. There's still a lot that has to be done in the game before you can actually go there and say, yeah, I'm waiting for a very good opportunity and for a very good offer, and then I will be full-time pro, I will move to Sweden, US or wherever, I'll be in the gaming house and get a ton of money. No, that is right now. Even when you have a very good name, it still doesn't work, It's just right now the game is way too young to have that. There is full-time pros already in Brazil. We have Payne, we have Dex Santos, who are full-time pros, but there it's a different way, because look at what the players are doing. They are building their own brand. Look at Noted. They are building their own reputation. Look at Cameraman. They built up their social media. Look at all of them. They do so much for their living. They're worth actually to be paid on, because also the audience in Brazil is so huge. I mean, looking at the stream numbers and everything, they're just crazy for Rainbow Six Siege. And right now, it's in EU and NA, it's not that big. I mean, in Brazil and Sao Paulo, they filled the stadium full with players just for Rainbow Six Siege. It wasn't like IEM and it was the pre-show before the LOL event. No, it was only Rainbow Six Siege. Imagine that. So right now, we have to work for this to actually be negotiated, okay? The thing is also, don't always go all ranting, all blaming on your team. You have to always think about that twice. Think about, okay, what could you have been doing wrong? Work on a team. A team effort is afforded by the team. It's always, a team gives you just the team works together. If there is a mistake, it could be a causal effect due to wrong callouts, due to misbehavior in the past. There's so many reasons. You have to find the reasons. Be mature. Work on this. Just don't leave it or scream at the players. No, work on the issues at hand and be mature and work them out. It always works, and this builds up a team spirit, and this shows how pro you are. If you are such an awesome cheer up guy like Fallen is, and all those guys who are just cheering their team and working on the mentality, you can win everything. You can win everything if the team spirit works out. So be the guy who's riding teams. Imagine you have 5 players just cheering up themselves and be awesome, and then showing the no respect mode to the opponents and be fair in the end and shaking hands and just, be. This is very good behavior and very good opponent behavior. This just works out. This just brilliant. Also, a thing is, don't be like, okay, all mass gaming is awesome, and I don't know, you guys are bad. I have 2K hours. Well, yeah, 2K hours. I can get 2K hours too if I have my PC running 24/7 and the game running. So it just does not matter. The thing is, I can't, there's like, well, I did that with X-Fire, with being in-game. Actually it counts when you're only in-game, but, well, in a match. But, whatever, it still is, when you're, it just, mass gaming doesn't work. You have to watch your replays, you have to watch the opponents, you have to watch the individual plays of the opponents, give your teams advices. This is what a pro player does, because this is your job. It's not like, I go online and play because this is why I'm paid for. No, at a certain point, you're starting to be at the maximum zenith of skill. You are hitting the headshots. But in a match, in a Pro League match, you don't. Okay, but this is maybe because of the strats are not working out, your positioning was wrong, your decision was wrong, or you just did not do your research on the player which you're facing all the time. For example, when you play Blaine Ducks on Clubhouse, you know Zeronic is coming through the blue. He's always doing it. He always did, he always will be. When they had Panics, LMs, and enemy with them, you know that Panics will execute from the supply room. So you know who will you face, and you have to observe them and their behavior. You know Zeronic is a very cautiously, not slow aiming, but a slow moving character, because he wants to have the full control of blue. So if you bring him into a fast situation where he has to think 10 times, you could maybe get it. But then you have to mind Panics, because he's there to support Zeronic, to have his angle. So this is what you have to learn. And Zeronic is, don't get me wrong, even if Zeronic is watching it, it just was an example. So, you know, this is where you have to watch it and how you want to, how you want to evolve as a player, because at a certain point of time, you always hit the headshots. You always do, but it just doesn't work on Pro League matches or on 6 Invitational matches or wherever. Yeah, well, then think about why this happens. Maybe you're in the wrong position at the wrong point of time in the game. So, basically, what I wanted to say is, only because you got a contract in an organization, you're not a pro. It just does not, because only because you're Pro League player, it does not mean you're a pro. You have to show professionalism. Prove yourself on offline events. Even when you lose, be happy for and appreciate the chance that you get to travel there to an awesome event and whatever. It's just, it's really hard to work for this. So I urge you guys, really think about twice about that and really learn that and use examples like Zeronic. He's a very professional player. He helps people. He plays on. He's doing his streams. He's doing so much. And look at Meepy, the same. He's doing so much. Look at King George. He's doing also very good things. There's so many examples out there who are doing great. And take yourself a minute, reflect yourself, and maybe what you want to do. Find your own brand. Don't copy someone. Just find your own style. And for that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, or else just leave a sub. I would really very much appreciate this. And I will head out for the sun for the next 30 minutes, and then I will go live with the Challenger series. Thank you so much anyways. See ya, and bye-bye.